Hey, good morning. Let's go over today's trade plan. So in the overnight session, we had key support at 88.5 to 91, which marked the breakout area from last week, and we ended up getting a buy response there, taking us back into the previous range, and that was actually short-term resistance at 97.5 to 99.5, and so far we've seen a sell response at that area. So the overnight session is very balanced, and at this point, there is potential to tip either way, but as long as we're holding above the previous close of 94, above the overnight VPOC of roughly 93, there's still potential for the buy side to step in and take ES back up towards 03 to 05, and from there potentially 07 to 09.5, which marks the high volume node of that previous range that we just broke down from. But heading into the open, we have to be fairly nimble with our directional bias because we can continue to balance here and test lower prices as well. That primary response that we expected at the 88.5 to 91 zone, at this point, that has already taken place. So if we approach that zone yet again, it's not going to be as strong of a zone as it was on first test. So unfortunately, that first test happened in the overnight session, and now it makes it a lower probability zone if we continue testing it, right? The more times you test a given support zone, the more likely it is to break. So even though that 89 to 91 area is still marked as support, we do have to be a bit more careful if the market ends up cracking and testing it yet again, because at this point, that main reaction that we wanted has already taken place, and if we continue hammering at that zone, it may not hold, and we could go down and test 86 and 79.5 to 82.5. Now, given that this short-term 3-day breakdown comes within the context of a larger time frame uptrend, we can still expect responsive buyers to defend and be active at every support zone below 89. So 79.5 to 82.5 is still an area where responsive buyers can be active, and in the event of a stronger move down, the 71 to 73 area is a very strong support zone and pretty much an automatic long in most scenarios. On the upside, the 97.5 to 99.5 pre-market resistance is an area that's already been tested, and at this point, if we continue balancing above 94, above 95.5, then there would be potential for a breakout and a test of 03 to 05. We can still get sellers active on first test of 03 to 05, as well as 07 to 09.5. So today the idea is, regardless of whether we break out to the upside from the overnight range or break down below initial support, we can still get buyers active at support, and on the upside, we can still get sellers active on first test. Below 89, there can be some short-term liquidation, so we have to be careful, and that can even present a good short setup as long as the other markets are also in sync and cooperating, and the advanced decline line is also in sync and showing us a downward trend. The momentum is showing us that it's actually downside and sustained downside momentum. Then there could even be a short setup coming out of this, but given the overall uptrend, we still have to be very aware of trade location when we are initiating a short, or if we're taking a short at aggressive location, we have to make sure that the momentum is very much in our favor. Because if there's no momentum on the downside, then it's very risky to short a market like this. So 89 to 91, it marks a larger time frame support area, marks that bigger breakout zone. So at this point, we've tested it, but if we hold here, then there is potential to go back up towards 03 to 05 and possibly 07 to 09.5, depending on the level of momentum we're seeing on the day time frame. So heading into the open, keep an open view, keep a nimble bias. It can tip either way, but by default, we still want to give a little bit more edge to the buy side if we're holding above the overnight VPOC, above the previous close, and especially above the previous VPOC of 95.5. So those are the main thoughts heading into the open. Let's see if the buy side can step in today. and take it back to 03 to 05, or if sellers dominate and push it down to 79.5 to 82.5. In either case, there should be some better opportunities available to us today. So those are the main thoughts. Let's see which side takes over, and we'll take it from there.